Okay, hi, I'm Mel.
Hi, this is Elle again, informing you about my experiences with glioblastoma. If you hear panting, it's not me, it's my lovely dog.
So why don't you tell about what happened that you first realized something was wrong?
Okay, when I first realized I wasn't having any issues prior, and I literally was driving to work and drove down my street, and I have about 10 houses on my street, and I didn't recognize the houses. I had complete disorientation. I knew I was on my street, but I felt like, gosh, something's wrong. And I called my husband immediately. I put my little makeup mirror down immediately to make sure I wasn't having a stroke. I thought I knew something was going wrong. And I hopped on the freeway. I knew I was supposed to be driving north because of where I live and where my work is. But as soon as I got on the freeway, I see the signs and I'm reading north and I'm like, okay, I'm going north. But it felt like I was going south. And so I was having like directionality issues. I got to work.
Where do you work? Tell them where you work.
I work at Mariners Elementary School. I'm a fifth grade, or I was a fifth grade teacher. Now I'm not working. And I got to work, and like at any elementary school, all the hallways kind of look the same, and all the doors look the same, and I couldn't exactly remember where my classroom was. So then I had to like go read the numbers, and I'm like, oh, this is my classroom. Then I was fine. I worked for the whole day, so it wasn't like I was just having some falters with my brain. It wasn't like I couldn't function. I still taught for a day and I drove home. As I drove to work, I told my husband, something's wrong and I don't want to drive home, so he was going to pick me up. And I said, while I drove there, I said, if for some reason my face starts to sag or something, I feel like maybe I'm having a stroke or something because I didn't know I knew I just wasn't right. And so I said, if something like that, like my face starts to droop, call 911. If I'm not speaking clearly and I sound like my speech is slurred, call 911. And he has like one of the little apps so he could see exactly where I was and I could tell him where I was because we were communicating. So that was kind of my first signs of it. And then I just knew I needed to go to the doctor. I had fallen at work probably the week after all of my like kind of disorientation. And I thought that I have kind of weak ankles, and so I just thought my ankles slipped out on me, and that's why I fell. I didn't realize that my fall was due to my cancer pushing on my brain, and because of where the cancer pushes on my brain, it affects my vision and it affects my stability. It feels like sometimes I'm walking on a ball, like a tennis ball, and I don't have, and so I need to like that's why railings on stairways really help dramatically. I use the walls to walk. I use everything I can to help balance because I'm not so wobbly that I fall all the time, but once I stand up, I know that I'm wobbly and I need a little help. My husband has been my hero. He walks with me everywhere, takes care of me. And you do need help. You can't do it on your own. I can't really cook for myself. I can barely walk to the bathroom. Someone's usually at my house all the time just to make sure that I don't fall. One day I was walking up the street on the sidewalk, a couple houses up from where I live, and my depth perception is off, and so I can't tell like when there's stairs how far down they are. So my husband will always say 3 stairs or 5 stairs, and then I count them, and whether I'm going up or whether I'm going down. But that's kind of how I fell going for a walk by my house too, because I slipped off the curb and I landed in the gutter because I couldn't tell that the white sidewalk dipped down where the gutter was. And it just has to do with where my cancer mass is on my right side, so everything on my left side is affected. Kind of like someone who has a stroke. If they have a stroke on their right side, their left side is affected, or vice versa. So those are all kind of been pre-signs of having this. And then I immediately went to my general doctor, told them some of my symptoms. She did a regular checkup on me and sent me immediately to get a CAT scan. I got out of the CAT scan within 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, I don't remember. And the doctor calls my husband, and I'm sitting next to him, and I have pretty good hearing, and I could hear the doctor talking on the phone to my husband, saying that I had a brain mass or brain cancer. So then the next 2 minutes later, I'm going in for an MRI, just sobbing, crying, because there was no like pre-letting me know. Literally, it was like overhearing the doctor telling my husband. And from then on, I've just been pretty much, I searched for the best neurosurgeon I could find, searched for the best oncologist I could find, and I really think that's a huge key if you get diagnosed with glioblastoma or any cancers, because it's, all cancers are somewhat treated similarly, which means they all need things like chemotherapy, and they all need radiation therapy and different kinds. And depending on, since I have brain cancer, they made like a mask for my head that I had to wear every time I went in to have radiation. And the mask has all these holes in it, and the holes tell them where to kind of put the radiation into my brain to try to slow down the cancers. And each time you do it, you'll see, at least each time I did it, I saw positive progress of either the growth was stopping or they had removed some of the cancer. And obviously those are all positive as you're fighting through some of the negatives.
Okay. Thanks for listening.
Thank you.